The damage on this thing seems low to me. It's got paper armor. I mean, this is the equivalent of putting a cardboard box on a Chevy Chevette, sticking a double barrel shotgun out the front, riding around screaming, "Yeehaw, please don't shoot me." Good morning, YouTube. This is Sinzard with Burke Studios, bringing you another amazing episode of World of Tanks. Today we're going to talk about the Soviet Premium T-44-100. This is an event going on in World of Tanks right now. Several ways to get this tank. First of all, you're going to participate in the missions and the events, which is going to be to get the T-44 straight through just gameplay. You're going to have to unlock the T-44-100. You're going to have to destroy 150 enemies and deal 150,000 damage to each nation, 8 in total. Well, for us average Joe's players out there, you're kind of wondering, wow, that's a lot of gameplay. Yes, but if you're dedicated, you can do it. Trust me. The other way to do it is you can, if you've got a couple nations you play, say you don't want to play the Chinese, you don't want to play the French, whatever the case may be, you can finish out the nations that you want to do, and then you can come and purchase different tokens in the premium shop to do it. I already have the tank, but I'll give you my feedback on a little bit later, but there's a couple ways to do it here. So again, pay attention to this. If you want the tank, go out there, do the missions, and go with it. Now, let's look at the stats. I'm going to pull off because I'm going to show you my loadout. So the base stats on this tank, a little over 1900 damage, or excuse me, DPM. Then you got 250 damage from the main gun, 183 penetration. That's for a tier 8, in my opinion. Dispersion's 0.34, not bad. Aim time to me right now at a 2.11, that's unacceptable, but that's just me. Rate of fire is almost 8 rounds per minute. Total reload is almost 8 seconds. So, not too bad. Shell velocity, 880 meters per second. Top speed, 52 kilometers an hour. Yes, it can do 52. It's not bad when it comes to that. I don't think the tank has any torque. It's just speed. You can back out pretty fast with 20 kilometers per hour on reverse. 520 horsepower. Gun reverse, yada, yada, yada. You know that it's 23 degrees elevation, 7 degrees gun depression. This is where I think the tank suffers, in my opinion. 90 millimeters hull armor on the front, 75 millimeters on the sides, 45 on the rear. Turret, 120 millimeters on the front, 100 on the sides and the rear. 1350 damage health, 190 on the engine, 380 meters view range, radio, 15% chance fire. This to me is what the big question is whether you're going to buy this tank. 12,500 gold. That is a lot of gold to buy for this tank. Going to be your choice. I'll give you my opinions on it later on. But again, 12,500 gold. Gun constraints, not too bad. Depression could be better, but for your Soviet tank, 7 degrees of depression is, in my opinion, that's pretty decent. So I can't complain too much on that. Now, what I do for my loadout is, first thing I'm going to do on there is I'm going to add vents. So you see what vents does to the configuration. Your damage per minute goes up almost to 2,000. Your reload time reduces. Rate of fire increases. Aim time is now down to 2.06. And dispersion, you got another 100th off on your dispersion. Again, your traction, your terrain resistance gets better. Traverse, view range gets a little bit better, and your radio range. Next thing I put on this tank is I do, to reduce the overall aim time, I put on the, where did it go? Gun lane drive. So now we're down on aim time of 1.88, 0.33 on dispersion. Everything stays the same here. We just get that aim time down as low as we can. Then the last thing I put on here is my gun rammer. Reload time is now 6.84. Rate of fire is almost 9 rounds per minute. And your damage per minute is up to almost 22,200. Wow, I can't add today. View range, again, 388, 746. Power to rate ratio is still low in my opinion. So all in all, It's eh. The question is, can you stay alive to do that almost 2200 DPM? More to come on that. Here's your modules. 100 millimeter LB1, T-44-100 turret, radio, engine, tracks. Now let's look at a 3D model. This is where it gets interesting. Actually, hold on. Let's look at the garage. So this is what a tank looks like in your garage. Notice the main difference on this tank is you've got these side skirts. The side skirts were designed to help or dissipate heat rounds. That's all well and good, but the chance of somebody shooting heat on the side of this tank from the matches I've played so far, not so much. More to come on that, but like I said, it's interesting to see how those were put on there. But you also get spaced armor, so if you're shooting your tracks below, they're going to go straight through and hopefully just track you. So now, that being said, let's look at the 3D model. So on the sides, these are your side skirts here. With enough angling, you can get decent effective armor. But again, you got to pay attention how you angle this tank. Your front armor, you know, depending on where you're at, the slope, 172 all the way down to 115. You get right there on that nice slope. You can get up there in armor. To me, this gaping hole around the gun mantlet on either side, that's a problem. Right there at the top, 44-18 on the at the driver's hatch, 91 on the commander's hatch. Then you got this 27 millimeter right there on the top deck. I don't know. I mean, your rear armor is 50 millimeters there, 34 there. I just see this tank. Okay, so I'll give you my opinion on it right now. To me, it's a hit or miss. I don't think it's worth the 12,500 gold just because of what the tank is. I've seen some really, really good gameplays in this with a good supporting team, and I've seen some really, really poor gameplay. I've had some poor gameplay in it. I've had some good gameplay in it. The damage on this thing seems low to me. It's got paper armor. I mean, this is the equivalent of putting a cardboard box on a Chevy Chevette, sticking a double barrel shotgun out the front, riding around screaming, "Yeehaw, please don't shoot me." Just my opinion. I don't, everybody's got different opinions. But this one is it's not that great of a tank in my opinion. I don't know, guys. You have to tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me. But I just see this tank is you got to play this tank gingerly. I play mediums fairly aggressively, so my play style on this tank is not conducive to me staying alive. I'm used to playing this like my 140 or T62A or 430. You cannot play it that way. You're typically going to play this almost like a Walker Bulldog, something like that to stay alive. And you got to be careful when you're peeking out. They will, I mean, that front armor, everything in tier 8 so far that's hit me, pins me every time. I've got a few ricochets, but I'm pretty much getting pinned most of the time on this tank. So what I'll do is next I'll show you what it looks like in my garage, because you've got it up here in this garage, but I'll show you my version of the tank, how I have it decked out. And then from there, then we'll go to gameplay. So next up, we will go to the garage. Okay. So here we are in my garage. So this is my T-44-100. As you can see, I got it outfitted with camo. You can see my medium gun rammer, vents, gun lane drive. You can see my armor loadout, AP, APCR. I don't carry HE. On occasion, I'm shooting it already, yeah, but I know that's probably bad on my part, but I just don't. Look around at the tank. Like I said, good looking tank. Side skirts are interesting. So now you're asking, well, how does it compare to the T-44? So let's go look at that real quick. T-44. So this is the T-44. Not a whole lot of difference in the tank. You got machine gun up top where you don't have it on the T-44. I mean, it's almost an identical tank. So from there, I mean, you can see different gun, and you got the machine gun up top. So again, as you can see, firepower, survivability, mobility, concealment, and spotting. You guys be the judge. So next, I'm gonna give you some gameplay, and then we will wrap it up. Like I said, I don't know if I can say 100% go buy this tank. It depends on your gameplay. It's an iffy. You know, if I had to pay 12,500 gold for it, you know, then I don't know. I can't justify it, especially when you look at some of the other gold tanks. I mean, I personally like the T-54 Mod 1. I don't own it. I probably will. But I think the T-54 Mod 1 is a better playing tank than the T-44-100. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just me. So again, next up we're going to do some gameplay. And like I said, guys, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Just my opinion. Thanks. Okay, guys. So this is some of the gameplay footage that I have. This is me playing right now. What I'm going to consider. I'm an average player in World of Tanks. But again, this is on the T-44-100. Again, not a bad tank. Not a good tank. Just my opinion on it. But what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to poke up over this ridge a little bit and see what's going on. Like I said, I've started to play this tank more like a scout tank than a medium, just because of the properties around the armor and so forth, and some of the gun depression. You notice we got quite a few. We got a T-44 up here as well. Scorpion, getting ready to have a bad day. I bounced on him. Not really sure how that happened. You know, you bounced on a damn Scorpion. Although, I've had tanks a lot bigger than me bounce on my turret, which is hilarious. Now, if you notice, the T-44 went over the ridge over there, got himself in a little bit of a predicament. I would be in the same boat if I was over there with this tank as well. Type 62 is coming around to try to help him out a little bit, but it's going to be too little, too late. He went bye-bye. Going to look now. I've got 3 tanks over here. Well, more like 2, 1.5 now. So we'll go over here and try to help out this M41. Just ate a shot in the side. Going to try to finish off T-44. Don't get the kill, but still 230 some damage on that one. Now, this is where you're going to hear me talk about when I play my mediums, I shot the ground. I play my mediums because I'm used to playing heavily armored mediums. I play them aggressively. I'm learning on this tank that you don't necessarily do that with this one. Otherwise, you will pay for it in a very bad way. And this is what I mean by that. So I'm going to go over, take a shot at the Scorpion. Should have tried to finish off the other tank, but I wanted that Scorpion. Took a shot in the rear end. Trying to get away. Took one in the ass. Now I'm down to 211 health from 1350. So as you can see, boys and girls, you do not play this tank aggressively. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to watch for that T-32 to stick his rear end out. I'm shooting normal AP. Watch this. 610 damage to the side of this thing. Not really sure what I hit. I'll have to check the module damage later on. But that is that's over double what this tank typically does in damage. So, they've all 7 tanks to R2. Not a bad one. Not a bad way to start this one. And we're very early on. We're less than 3 minutes into this match. This is where I start getting a little bit more careful. Like I said, still learning characteristics of this team, of this tank. Probably played 40 games in it total. But it does have speed. Going to peek around here trying to get a shot on the... there's that little 1390 that shot me in the ass. Aha, you dirty little bastard. I'm going to try to sneak around and get a shot on this T-26C4. Going to take a side shot into the T-54. And by the way, guys, the Soviet medium line is actually a fun line. I had fun with my T-44 when it was played like it should have been played. But like I said, the T-44 in itself, the base model, is a pretty decent tank. I've seen T-44s wreck teams. You get a wolf pack of those, it's ridiculous. So now we're going to get pushing in. We're going to get a little aggressive. Going to take a shot on the T-49. 229 average roll. 250 they say is your max damage on it. I'm averaging between 225 to 235. Very rarely do I get a max roll on it. Now on that T-32 earlier, that was an anomaly. I'm not sure why that happened. So we're going to go over and support the T-62, try to come around. But if you notice, this team, the red team, did not push aggressive. They just kind of huddled up. Not really sure why that was. So this was kind of a rollout. There's the 8.8 Panther. Put one into him. Got average on that, above average 265. Going to try to finish off the RHM. Panther is going to stick his neck out again, and he's going to get it chopped off. Take the kill on the Panther. See, there's my average 220 roll. Again, kind of weird. So we just cleared that flank. Now we're going after the T-54. Now, to me, it looks like the T-54 just kind of gave up since team was just obliterated. And we're 5 minutes into this match. So I don't know. But, you know, my summary on this one is that it's an interesting tank. Your play style, you cannot play this like a typical medium, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I would play this tank like a scout. And that's how I've learned how to play it, kind of watching where I go, sticking my nose out, not playing a lot of peekaboo unless I know I can get away with it. Trying to get up on the hill, yeah, that fails miserably. But like I said, guys, my main concern with this tank is, do you pay the 12,500 gold for this tank? I don't see this tank being worth 12,500 gold for the performance it gives. Now, like I said, if it's your type of gameplay, go for it. Just play it like a scout, in my opinion, and have fun with it. Your choice, your gold, your money. But if I had to pay 12,500 for it, I would have had an issue with it, knowing what it is right now. So give me your thoughts. Slap a like and a subscribe there. Give me your comments down below. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what you agree with. Tell me what you disagree. I want to have a conversation. There's going to be more World of Tanks coming out soon. Sorry for the delay. Also, I'm going to be doing a video around the T-44-100 on what not to do. A series of videos where, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, so just stay tuned. Until I see you on the battlefield, everybody, take it easy, take it safe, and put some rounds down range. Later.